Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial about the loop builder in Elementor. The loop builder was first introduced in Elementor Pro 3.8 and it is a new custom way to design and showcase your lists of posts, portfolio and general listings. It has a lot more flexibility than the post and portfolio widget since you get to design the loop item from scratch. In order to use the loop builder, you must have the Pro version of Elementor. I will post a link below on the comments section on how to acquire a license for Elementor Pro. A basic understanding of how Elementor Builder works will help, but also I will provide all the essential steps to create your own loop here. But what exactly are the loops in Elementor? Well, the loops in Elementor is the repeating content such as posts we see here and portfolios. The loop builder is now here to help you customize the look of these listings. Until now we had predefined design by the posts and portfolio widgets, but now you get to have total control over the loop appearance. The loop grid, we can see it here, is the widget you can use to incorporate your loops to the page you want. However, instead of editing its design after you have placed it on your page, the loop grid will either prompt you to select one of the loop templates you have created, or you can start here from scratch to design your loop. The loop carousel was introduced with Elementor 3.11 and it's another way to display your loops in the page you want. It is similar to the loop grid, but instead of displaying your posts as a grid, you show them in the form of a carousel. Here also you can choose one of your pre-created templates or start building from scratch. There are two ways to access the loop builder, either by going to sidebars or from inside the Elementor builder. Let's see both ways. Sidebars. We go here to templates and click on theme builder. There we go down here to loop item. We click here the plus icon and then Elementor loads and we have the interface to create our new loop item. From inside Elementor, we can access Loop Builder from anywhere we want. Let's just say, for example, we want to create a loop for our home page. We go here to Pages, All Pages, and choose our home page. Here we click Edit with Elementor, so we can load Elementor. And then we can go to our widgets here on the left, as we see, scroll down here during this section, and we see the loop grid and the loop carousel. Now, if I want to create here on this page a new loop, I click, for example, here, add section above the section, go here to my widgets, scroll down and choose loop grid, drag and drop it here. I click here, create a template. I will choose to save the changes. Now we see we are inside the loop item workspace and we can start creating our loop. When we are finished, we just click save and back and the loop has been created. It is that simple. Before we hit save and back, we want to create a custom design for our loop. So we go here where we can access all our widgets, scroll down and choose, let me see, call to action. I drag and drop it here. I want a different scheme for my loop, so I go here and choose cover. I want for this loop the image to connect with my featured image. Now I go here to the context and I choose here the post title. For the description, I choose the post extract and I want my button to go to the post URL. So I click here and I choose post URL. I am ready. I click save and back. Now my loop has been placed inside my page. If I want, I can change the columns. I can make them 2. I adjust here how many items I will see. I can choose here to have equal height if I want. I can choose to have masonry. And when I am ready and satisfied by the look of my new loop grid, I can choose update and I'm ready. Now let's just say I want another design for my loop. I want a new loop and I want to create it from the point I am right here. I go here, add section above this one. I go here, scroll down, choose loop grid, place it inside the section. I follow exactly the same steps so far until the previous time and I click on create a template. I hit save. And now we are inside the loop editing area. Now I want a more elaborate, complex design for my loop this time. So I scroll down and I search for flipbox. That's the one right here. Drag and drop it in here. And now I have a flipbox and I want to connect it dynamically with my posts. So I have the front side and the back side. First of all, I want to choose a different icon. So I click here and let me try to find another icon from here. Let's just say I want this one. I click insert. For the heading on the front side, I click dynamic text and choose post title. Now for the description on the front side, I click here and choose post time, because I also want to show when exactly was the publishing time of the post. Now I go on the back side of my flip box. I choose again for my title the post title. For the description this time I choose post excerpt, and now I go here to the background background type, and here on the dynamic tags I choose featured image. I position it center, default, no repeat, cover, and if I want to make the title and the excerpt more readable, I can choose a background overlay. Let's just say I want a slight dark one with transparency, and I also want my button to direct me to the post content. So I go here and I click post URL. I also need, I think, to adjust the height, so let's just say 400 pixels. I think it's enough. There are other settings here. You can choose flip, slide, whatever we want, push, and also the flip direction. I think we're set to go. So I press save and back. And voila! Our new loop is right here, ready. We see the other loop we have created below that, and this is the loop with a flip box. Now let's see a little bit more about the loop grid. I click here at section, scroll down from here and choose the loop grid. It is placed on top of our other loop grid. Now this time I don't want to create a new template, I just want to choose one of the templates of the loops I have already created. So I go here and type L. These are the templates I have created, and I choose randomly this one. And now we see we have our new template here. From here I can change the settings, I can reduce the columns, I can make them 2 or 1, how many items I need per page, I will choose 4. And the query, I will leave that here to posts. That means from where the loop grid will grab its content. I have already left posts. How they will be presented: by date, order, you know the drill. This is like the post widget. I can also adjust the gap between the columns, the gap between the rows, and when I'm done and happy with the result, I hit update and I'm good to go. Now let's see a little bit the loop carousel. Let's say we want to add it right here. We click on Add Section, scroll down, drag the loop carousel. We choose a template, and here we can adjust the number of slides we want to present. Let's just say 3. The slides on display, I want 1 slide. Other settings, slides on scroll. The query, we can change the source of the query. And here are some more settings about the carousel, the autoplay. If we wanted to pause and hover on interaction, the direction, we can change that. We can also change the icons. We don't want arrows, we don't a different icon. So we click here and choose some other icon from the library. We can do that for the next icon also. The pagination, we can change that to fraction or progress. I like the dots, I will leave the dots. We can also change the gap between the slides, the size of the icons for the navigation, and the color on hover, the position inside, outside, the pagination. We can position them inside. We can also change the color and on hover. And if we are satisfied with the result, we just click update and we're good to go. It is better to not use loop carousel more than once in a page, since the scrolling can be distracted for the user. We should use it if we want to place emphasis on a query, for example, on a news site. We can use it on top to display the featured or latest news. On a feature tutorial, we will be talking about taking the use of loops several steps further with advanced custom design for posts and products. So hit the subscribe button to stay informed on what comes next. Thank you all.